Welcome on Butthurt Developer channel. Here I'm developing a big solution for musicians, and today I'm going to talk about a couple of Laravel settings which will make the Laravel work obvious and will discover a bunch of mistakes in the development. This is a short and useful video that will definitely help you, and you can help me. Russia is a terrorist state. Russians tried to kill me and my loved ones. Russians live in shit and want the whole world live like that. But we can stop them. Ukraine can stop them. And you can help Ukraine. Please support Ukraine. Not necessary with money. Just let your political party know that you support Ukraine. It could save my life and many other lives. Thank you. And I will start with a problem N+1. N+1 is a big problem. N+1 not Laravel problem. It is a global problem for all ORM solutions. Occurs when we try to retrieve data from a bound entity that was not been loaded before. It's called lazy loading, and it is useful when we use one entity. For example, when we get some post inside Blade, it is very useful to get tags right inside Blade and do not think about this. But the problem starts when we try to get collections. With lazy loading, we got one request for get posts and n SQL requests, where n is a count of posts, and this is a very bad for performance. Lazy loading for ORM is a bad practice. We always should use eager loading, using this method in Eloquent query builder, or using join or subquery, of course. And Laravel give us a way to stop using lazy loading. Force stop. Simple function model prevent lazy loading. It is perfect to write this code and some boot service provider method. IPP service provider is a perfect place for this. After setup, when I try to get relationship from Eloquent collection using lazy loading, I get an error instead of N+1 situation. I can demonstrate this using session API from previous video. If I remove this device, in a regular situation I will got N+1 problem, but if I call prevent lazy loading, I will got error. This is perfect. This will force me to make some eager loading and will highlight my mistakes if I forgot about it, because it is just one line of code and it's easy to remove. But be careful, this solution does not solve the N+1 problem. Very simple example. Inside device resource, I will write first or get no matter function from devices relationship, and all work fine, no errors, but this is still N+1 problem. And of course I can create many examples for N+1 realization. And developers are usually very creative in coming up with N+1 problems. And here we got only one, not perfect but automatic solution. Writing tests using Laravel expect database query count function. Here important, Laravel do not calculate queries. This function calculate connection to database. So if we write our code inside transaction, we will get only one query or one connection if you want. Please be careful. But I strongly recommend you to write search test for any collection get methods. It is very useful, and of course it is allow you to understand how to work query builder. For example, in my case, I expect 3 query. One for count for pagination, second for sessions, and the last one for devices. Next situation, what you should know. If you listen my video, you know that I strongly don't recommend use select all from database. But if you get only necessary attributes and try to get information from unloaded attribute, Laravel will get you null. It is not obvious and can create many logic error, starting from bool variables when we try to check if true or false, finishing with returning null to clients when we have real data but forget to select them. So very simple function model prevent accessing missing attributes. Now when I tried to get property of some not generated attribute, I will got error not null. It is very useful. And the last Eloquent settings for today. And this situation is faced by all Laravel newbies. When we use mass assignment of Laravel model using fill method or create from model and some attributes not described in fillable property or described in guarded property, Laravel simple skip this property and save model without this property. It is not obvious behavior again, and we can use method model prevent silently discarded attributes. And this all. When we try fill some property that write inside guarded or not write inside fillable, we will got error. That's all. Here I should say one thing. Usually this property goes to model when we use request all. It is very bad practice. Request all, return all data from request. Keep validation. Please never use request all. Always request validated. I'm talking about form request, of course. And you should write all expected request attributes to validation. It is about your project security. And at the end of the topic about models, all three commands we can run with single line. Model should be strict, and all these methods has one parameter: bool use or not use this property. Inside internet it is very poorly described why we should use this parameter and how, and I got a simple answer. If you support project inside production, please skip this error inside production, because your users should not see these errors, especially when they were not there before. But run this for testing, for stage, for development. It allows you to find these errors and fix them. But if you write project from scratch, run it without any condition. These mistakes should not go to the production when you set up these settings from scratch. And one more settings that I recommend for tests: HTTP facade prevent stray requests. This will block all HTTP requests from test to external services. Not all external services are required authorization, but all external services could ban you by IP when you DDoS them using test, for example. And when we need, we can use HTTP fake for testing some HTTP external requests. And now you can ask me the question: why? Why this do not enabled by default if behavior is not obvious? And I know the right answer: backward compatibility. Framework or some external package should not create new errors after updating, and Taylor can't go back in time for enable this behavior by default. I have been seeing articles criticizing various packages for years. For example, JavaScript package Lodash. The authors criticize the library for the fact that there are functions that they are already implemented inside JavaScript. And I have never seen a comment about backward compatibility. And because backward compatibility exists, Lodash contains old function and support it. And as PHP evolves, we are going to see a lot of criticism of Laravel array helpers, for example, with the same arguments. So remember about backward compatibility, make Laravel behavior obvious, and support Ukraine. Thank you.